Dear Diary, this was a really tricky day. A really, really tricky day. There were parts where I wasn't sure I would make it, and parts where I felt on top of the world. I got up extra early to get to the gym extra early so I could leave extra early and get to a medical appointment at 8:30. And that felt wonderful accomplishment. And then I came home and had my second breakfast and took a rest because I was awake in the night last night too. And I don't know, part of me felt like that was being a slug. That's an old phrase. I didn't use the phrase, but it's that was that kind of feeling. And then I tried to get some things done and they didn't go very well. And this roadblock came up and that task came in that had to be done because it was 24 to 48 hours ahead of time and had to get it in and so on. It was really tricky. And I had to stop and feed myself. And I had to scour pots and pans. Have to do that pretty much with every meal. And it got to me. Got to me. It was pretty low, wasn't it? Diary. And still, as I questioned myself, okay, you help other people in this kind of a fix. What are you doing for yourself? Yes, I took it all to Jesus and cried out to him while I was scouring pots in the sink. And when I had to come up with another meal, this isn't something I feel like I'm very good at, and so on. I really felt this thin. And yet, I don't know, did I hear the voice that I was a failure? I did not hear the voice that I was a failure. That I could do better, sure. That I knew better, sure. But here's the kicker. Diary, dear diary, let's remember this day. Because I went and put on a worship CD about 80% of the way through it. Hello, Tope. Hi, Jan. I went and put on a worship CD. Do you want to know the name of it? Which one it was? It was not the one I've been listening to all the time lately, which is CeCe Winans' Believe For It. It was a different one. If you want to ask, you can text me. I'll tell you. Otherwise, I won't. I put that on. I was going to go do some other thing to try to change my focus. And I thought, I got to get these pants scrubbed up. I've hurt my elbow and it's painful to scrub out the pans at the moment. But I had to do it. No, my left hand doesn't work so well. So I put the CD on. And as the Rescue Me was on there. And I sat down to eat dinner. And it all came together. The worship music, what was going on. Texted a friend who's had a tricky day too and said some words. And then I ended it with, I think you're doing better than what you think. And it was as if there was an echo. Yes, Holy Spirit kind of sent it back to me. Because I didn't throw and break anything. This is long history, long ago history. I didn't throw anything or break anything. Hello, Gail. And I did get 3 meals into myself. Took all of these triple antibiotics I have to take into me today in the right time. And that's what I did. This is how it works. When you call out to Jesus, it's one of the ways it works. I don't know. We all have our little personal communication and relationship. you see, the brain has a certain thing in there called apophenia. And it's the way it functions. And that once we head in a certain direction, the apophenia takes over and starts piling on what it believes is evidence. So when we're having a pity party, it goes that way. I hate washing pots and pans. I don't want to do this. Ow, it hurts my elbow. Hypothetically speaking. And I don't want to have to cook another meal. I'm not good at coming up with ideas. So on, so on. This is pretty typical, although to the nth degree this week, but it's Monday. It's coming back into the business life on Monday. But when I got the CD on and sat down for my dinner and took a breath, I said, yeah, maybe I'm not doing as bad as I was thinking, because that's where the apophenia was taking me. And I paused and started thinking about, I did get Sandra's News, my update out. Now, I don't know why the first copy of it had the old date. It had all the new information. I have no idea. I went in to look again, and there it was with the correct date. I did not change it then. I changed it earlier. And so whoop, I sent it out again. And it's funny because I laughed. I actually said to myself, well, that's probably not the last time that's going to happen. Instead of beating myself up. Let's remember that, dear diary. And let's remember God's great gift. God's great gift of resilience in all that he's doing in my life. Upsets like that would have torn me apart in the past and would have hung on to me for days, sometimes even weeks, maybe even longer. But when I sat down to eat my dinner, I could feel God's peace coming into me. Thank you, Tope. Blessings to you too. And I went through a list of different things that had gone properly. And I managed to call my neighbor who's moving. Want to make sure that when she goes to this assisted living place, I'll still be able to contact her, because she doesn't think her phone number will change, but it might. And we made a plan to connect in a week. Just regular life that fit itself in amongst all of what I will describe as horrific tension. And part of that comes right out of the trauma that I lived in for my life. You better get this done, and it better be on time, because if you don't, you don't know. There's a blank there that's really scary. I'm past that in a lot of ways, but when things pile on and the time pressure is added to it, then sometimes it pops up again. And I make more progress. That's the point of today. That's why, dear diary, I want to make sure that I do remember today. Yeah. I am doing better than I was thinking when I was in that little hole. And God is pleased with the progress I'm making, which is really wonderful, since he's healing the wounds. Jesus is healing the wounds. Holy Spirit is leading me forward. And God the Father, it's all his plan anyway, my Abba. So thank you, dear diary, for keeping a record of these positive things, because the negative could take over my life if I let it. If you weren't there, boy, that could easily happen. Okay, dear diary, that's what I wanted to say. Even though this was a stretching day and in a lot of ways unpleasant, so many good things are happening. The same day, I'm all set to on and get back into the swing of things. I'm telling you, Jesus is the only one that provides new life. He's the only one that can. So there we have it. Okay, dear diary, I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you, ladies, for paying attention, for being here. It multiplies my joy when I know that other women get it. Okay, bye.